Unfortunately, the Trailblazers did not get a victory, but they still played one heck of a ball game. It's just sometimes you're the windshield, sometimes you're the bug. Unfortunately, I think tonight they ended up being the bug, and they played so darn well. But the Denver Nuggets happened in the fourth quarter and into overtime. A couple other things happened that have me scratching my head. Not saying it was officiating, but it was officiating late. There was some questionable calls. Both sides, really. This is not a, oh my gosh, the Blazers only lost because of the officials. But boy, that was not a banner performance. Let's just put it that way. Toumani Camara played wonderfully. Gosh, I mean, what can you say? This is a team in the Denver Nuggets that are one of the best in the entire conference, one of the best in the NBA. They have arguably the best player on the face of the planet. They are the best offense in the league, and they really stuck it to the Blazers there late in the fourth quarter and into overtime. It got a little ugly for that Blazer defense. I thought for the most part, though, the Blazers did exactly what we wanted them to do. We have talked so many times about how you just got to be peaking at the right time. You want to get into the play-in playing your best basketball. That's what this team's doing right now, because that was a great game. That was a loss, but it was still up there with one of the better games they've played. And as one of our texters says already, not a bad loss. You knew Denver would fight back. Just a frustrating loss. And that I can get behind. A little frustrating just the way it went down late. He had a couple weird little calls and just ran out of gas. But there's different ways of running out of gas. And this was not a, oh my gosh, it was lethargic. They just got tired. It was just they didn't have the power anymore. The offense had exhausted all of its weapons. And I think Toumani Camara fouling out late really dealt them a blow because he was the best player on the floor for the Blazers tonight. If you want to join the conversation, 503-248-0620 is the telephone number. We're also available over on YouTube. Just go to youtube.com, type in Rip City Radio, or you'll see the little screen, Blazers at the Nuggets, and you can type in the chat there. And, of course, you can grab your phone. 503-248-0620 is the telephone number. So, taking a look, it was a good game, but how did it all go down? What happened in Denver? Let's find out. It's time for the Rip City Recap. Well, the recap was, heck, it was a great game. Blazers outscored the Nuggets 35-31 in the first quarter. They outscored them 37-27 in the second. And in the third, it was 29-29. The fourth quarter, though, that Nuggets offense finally found its rhythm. Outscored the Blazers 38-24. The Blazers got a big old lead there in the second quarter. Things were looking great. Things were looking really, really flipping good. Till the Nuggets went on a 9-0 run to make it a 4-point game. Then they made it a 2-point game. Then the Blazers ended on a 10-1 run to end the half. Got the lead back. It was 72-58. Toumani Camara had 20 points. DC had 11 and 7. And the Denver Nuggets, who came in as the best three-point shooting team in the NBA, were just 3 of 6 from beyond the arc, or 18%. Then the third quarter goes out there. Both teams play pretty even. In the fourth, though, from about the 8-minute mark to around 2.5-minute mark, the Nuggets went on a 17-4 run. That was where they really started to put it to the Blazers. And then they got the tie game. Then they got the lead in overtime. Never looked back. Now, the Blazers are going at the free throw line. Denny Avdija is taking free throws. He takes one, makes it, takes the second, misses it, and in the battle for the rebound, they call Toumani Camara for a foul. That was a 6th foul. Realistically, it looked like nothing but contact that we're normally used to seeing. Excuse me. We've seen it 100 times without being called, but it was called in this situation, which was terrible. And then in the ensuing possession for Denver, one of, let's just be completely honest, the most egregious offensive foul no calls that you're going to see is Nikola Jokic just absolutely hounds Robert Williams, gets his arm tied up, locks it up, and they call Robert Williams for the foul. He literally just has his arm on Jokic because he can't move it. Jokic has it corralled. And that's the unfortunate part, because that was right there where it really started to swing, and you're just like, gosh darn it, because the Blazers really had a chance. to grab this one in Denver. End the losing streak, because Brendan asked me, now extends to 17, and he's like, hey, were you there the last time they won a regular season game? I'm like, when was that again? And he's like, I was like, October 2016. Yeah, I found my photos. I was there in Denver. Got a couple photos. I'm looking at it right now. Look at that. I was at shoot around. There's old Al Farouk Aminu and I was going to say Mo Harkless, but that wasn't Mo. But Al Farouk Aminu there doing warm-ups. I was there. Been to Denver many a time. Didn't know that I was going to watch the very last victory for, a decade. It's so wild. So wild. Now, in this one, points in the paint, absolutely throttled. Portland was just dismantled in the paint. 66-32 in favor of Denver when it came to those points right there. Second chance points, 30-15 in favor of Denver. Turnovers, Portland had 18, Denver had 12. Points off turnovers, Denver ended up with 20. Looking at what Denver was able to do, Cam Johnson had 17 points. Aaron Gordon had 23 points, 9 rebounds, a couple massive three-point field goals through this one. Nikola Jokic, he did what Nikola Jokic does. Lulls you to sleep, and before you know it, he has a 35-point, 14 rebound, 13 assist triple-double. 8 points from Christian Braun. Jamal Murray had 20 points and 7 assists. Jonas Valanciunas had 14 points off of the bench. For the Blazers, Denny Avdia, 26 points, 7 assists, 4 rebounds. 18 points, 12 rebounds, 2 block shots for Donovan Clingan, 19 points for Drew Holiday to go along with 11 assists. Scoot Henderson, 18 points, 3 assists, and 3 rebounds and a single turnover. 14 points from Matisse Thybulle, absolutely bringing the energy off the bench. Robert Williams was great off the bench as well. He just had 6 points and 6 rebounds, but he was huge in the minutes he was playing. And then Toumani Camara, where I talk about the foul out being a massive, massive blow to the team in this one. Toumani Camara, 34 minutes. He was 10 of 16 from the field, very efficient. 8 of 13 from beyond the arc. He had 5 rebounds, 1 steal, 30 points, but unfortunately those 6 personal fouls, which is what really did the Blazers in. They needed him. They needed his momentum. They needed everything he was able to bring. Looking at the YouTube chat, the Orb says, I truly believe that no call on Jokic will, while literally holding Robert Williams' three's arm, is what lost us the game. And the thing is, you go through that, those 2 no calls, back to back, when you get the foul call on Toumani Camara, which there's contact from everyone, but I think that situation right there is a no call all day long. You could have said there was contact by Camara. I don't think there was. You could have argued that, maybe there was contact by the Nuggets player, so it should have been a foul on them. I don't think there was. That is, to me, that is play on. That's just basketball fighting for a rebound. Liked that. I didn't like the call. And then go back down, and you just, after that kind of, gut punch a little bit, you get another one in on the stomach, and before they can even take a breath, you knock the wind right back out of them with that no call on Jokic that the Orb is talking about in the YouTube chat. I thought that was absolutely brutal and did sway it a little bit. Sean says the Blazers played well, but I'm not a fan. But I'm not a fan of them trying to manage the clock with the lead in the fourth quarter. They don't have the poise to do that. All they can manage is to give away the lead. Just keep playing the way that got them the lead. And Sean, that is not a Blazer exclusive problem. I hate in any game I watch, whether it's a Blazer game or a football game or any of that, a team that plays to not lose. You play to win. The minute you play to hold on a lead or play to, okay, we got the big lead, now we're going to change everything, then you changed what was working. And that sometimes, too, if you change what's working and then you get punched and you have to respond back, getting back in the groove of what was working is a little bit harder than it was. So I've never been a fan of that myself. Absolutely. So just fourth quarter, the Nuggets took them to task, and the Blazers couldn't ask the question or answer the. I'm struggling. I feel like I'm the Blazers right now, just trying to get through this, but Nikola Jokic has beaten me to death. The Blazers did their best to weather the storm, and I thought they played a hell of a game. But that fourth quarter and overtime, the Denver Nuggets did what the Denver Nuggets do. As one of our texters says, great game from our guys. I love Tumani Kamara. Yeah, so do I. And so do Blazer fans tonight. He was incredible. Definitely not a bad loss. We've talked about this forever. Go into this game and you want to try to get one of the two. Now, beating San Antonio is going to be hard too. They're a phenomenal team. They don't lose very often. They're going to be hard to beat. Victor Wembanyama did leave the game tonight against the 76ers with a rib contusion. So I think you look at that, and if you're San Antonio and he's not fully healthy or there's any inkling that he might need to heal up, you may sit him in that game that Portland comes rolling into town. And, maybe Portland could take advantage. There's still plenty to play for. It's not as if the 8 seed is completely out the door or anything. It just becomes harder. If you get one of these games, you need to get one of them. So if you get this one in San Antonio, you're still in a good spot. You're absolutely still in a good spot. And if you don't get the one in San Antonio, but you play like you did tonight, and then you play the Clips, and maybe you don't get that one, but you play like you did tonight, and then you end the season with a win against Sacramento, you're doing all the things that you need to do to go into the play and playing good basketball. Because quite frankly, if you take this Clipper game and this Nuggets game, those are the two best games perhaps all season that they've played. And yes, they lost this game, but boy howdy, did they play one hell of a basketball game. This is the fifth quarter. If you want to join the conversation, 503-248-0620 is the telephone number. Of course, you can head to youtube.com, type in Rip City Radio, join the chat there, or hit us up on the text line, 88528. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to hit you with our drive of the night, take a look at the NBA scoreboard, see what else is going on around the association. And of course, we still got Coach's Corner and a game ball to hand out. Chad Dewing will not be joining us tonight. For those of you who are listening early in the pregame show, and I'm like, we're going to go to Chad Dewing. We're going to go to Chad. Oh, Chad Dewing's not here. He's ghosting us. All right, well, you're going to hear Chad on the pregame show. There was no Chad Dewing. You know why? Well, he called me as soon as I signed off, and he went, Burkhardt, sorry, but I lost my voice. Oh, man. Been there before. Can he blame me? I know you guys were picking on me the last few weeks trying to battle through my voice. I must have given it to the boss. It's all my fault, really. Blame me. All right. Join the conversation with us. We're going to take a break. Plenty more coming up when we come back here on your home of the Blazers, Rip City Radio 620. We'll go back into the fifth quarter. Chris Burkhardt here with you. If you'd like to join the conversation, 503-248-0620 is the telephone number. You can also go to youtube.com, type in Rip City Radio, join the chat there. Aaron Weldon says, Chris just yawned. Did you pick that up? Did the mic pick up my beautiful attempt to get some oxygen into this body of mine? You got to do what you got to do. Jason says, the officiating was arse, to be sure. But let's cut Bill Kennedy some slack. Man, he's a goat when it comes to explaining coaches' challenges. He's great. Bill Kennedy's great. And so I'm not even like trying to knock that officiating crew. Except Bill Kennedy's wonderful. And, officials have a very tough job in this league. That final call, no call on Jokic was bad. That was just plain missed. And that one against Kamara, that's not a foul. Not in my opinion. Give me that last 2-minute report. So yeah, there you go. Sometimes it just happens. I do think the biggest thing about this game is the Blazers played a hell of a game, and you got to give them credit for that. I like the fact that they hung with one of the best offenses. The best offense in the NBA for 4 quarters. A team that back in February absolutely demolished them, and then. I love when the comments will throw me off. Jason with the not gonna lie, we had them in the first half. That's a good pull for the not gonna lie. You had me in the first half there, but they did. They played a hell of a game. And the thing with this game was you go back to again what happened last time they met up, and it was a wonderful first half of action, and then the second half happened, and the Blazers fell apart a little bit, and you're just going, oh, no, I hope that doesn't happen again. I hope that the Blazers can keep this going for a full 4 quarters and maybe sneak out of Denver with a victory. And they almost did. I will give them credit for the way they played. This is a play-in team that just went toe-to-toe with a team that is probably going to end in the 3 seed. And a team that has the best player on the planet. Yeah, I'm taking Jokic right now. I was in the maybe it's Victor Wembanyama category until I watched Jokic hit that turnaround jumper over him the other night. Jokic he's crazy. He's nasty. That's a well-balanced roster. They got some wonderful players. They play well together. They just beat the Blazers in the 4th. That's what happens. The fact that the Blazers played that game, the fact that the Blazers went to OT with Denver, the fact that the Blazers had a chance in that game, I'll take. Sometimes you win, sometimes you don't. But right now, for this team, it is about playing their best basketball. Now, our texter from the pregame show, who is not a fan of Thiago Splitter, it's okay. Says 66 points in the paint is unacceptable when there is so much on the line. Tom Dundon can't get here fast enough for me. Thiago has to go. Go in capital letters. Well, Tom Dundon's already here, so he got here fast for you. And again, we'll see where coaching goes. Very well, I hope there's a full coach search. I will defend Thiago. I like Thiago, and the way that I would like him to keep the job moving forward is if there's a full coach search and Tom Dundon believes in him. And if that's the case, so be it. I do want a full coaching search, though, but we'll see there. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. Right now, you still have a guy who is doing a very good job, all things considered, who was dealt the craziest of hands to begin with. And again, is, he's 500. Like as a coach for this team right now, he's 40-38. That's not bad. I'm going to take that for the guy who wasn't expected to be coach. As for being beat in the paint, in a game like this, that's where Denver had to go to. First off, they're good there. That's why they're one of the best field goal percentage shooting teams in the league. But when a team that leads the league in 3-point percentage is not hitting their threes, they have to go into the paint. And quite frankly, when you got guys like Valanciunas, who is still a guy who can get it done in the paint, when you got guys like Aaron Gordon, who can still live in the paint, and obviously some dude named Nikola Jokic, who, by the way, took 31 shots tonight, only 5 of them from beyond the arc. sometimes that type of game is going to lend itself to being beat in the paint. It is not good. I don't like getting beat in the paint. But despite that, the Blazers were still leading for most of this game. Their strengths were battling quite well with Denver's. Denver had a very poor shooting night from beyond the arc. The end of the night at 31.6%, far below their season average. Meanwhile, Portland shot 48% from deep, 25 for 52. Franchise record. They're phenomenal. Phenomenal. Still need, I mean, when you get Donovan Clingan and Robert Williams down low against Nikola Jokic, sometimes it hurts a little bit. You got to do the Pedro Martinez, my friend. Sometimes you just, I tip my hat and call the Yankees my daddies. Like, there you go. One of my other texters, you should blame the officiating. It was terrible. It was horrible. Yeah, it wasn't good. And then your next comment, the Blazers need to learn how to finish a game. They do. They absolutely do. But here is the thing. This is a play-in team. By definition, they're going to learn and go through these bumps. The fact that they did not get completely bounced, the fact they played great, the fact that they had a chance, I'm going to live with that. I'm going to live with that. And I just mentioned their three-point shooting. It was good. It was good. So good that I'm going to make a shot of the night be the drive of the night. Brendan, hit it.
Now Holiday drives the baseline out to Scoot. Scoot for three. Yes! That is a big three from Scoot. And that is a franchise record 25 made threes for the Trailblazers tonight. Scoot Henderson with 18 as he makes it a one-possession game again, 131-128.
And that drive of the night brought to you by our friends at McCord Vancouver Toyota, where they live by the slogan, we make it easy. Check out their inventory today at vancouvertoyota.com. Now, again, first off, this is the part I hate about the text line, because I feel so like disconnected from you when I have to say, and another one of our texters, because I don't have names to go with it. So I implore some of you to be like, send a text, be like, this is John in Hillsborough. But the same texter who's just going to be, until identified, will just be my anti-Tiago texter. Says, if you're happy with Tiago after the game tonight, please tell me what brand of edibles you are taking. I want some edibles that take me to Fantasyland too. Well, hate to break it to you, kid. You're probably older than me. Who knows? I don't take edibles. Never have in my life. So I don't even have a brand name to give you. But it's not that I am happy with Tiago, as you say. If you are happy with Tiago, it's not that I'm sitting here singing his praises. Oh, just a great job by Tiago Splitter. You know, high fives all around. Clap, clap, clap. Good job. You deserve raise. But I'm not watching that game and watching how the Blazers played for 90% of that and going, fire Tiago Splitter. He's the worst. He's the problem. No. The reason they lost this game is because part of it, mistakes down the stretch, and playing against Nikola freaking Jokic, Jamal Murray, Aaron Gordon, and a cast of characters that just knows how to play basketball. That team is way too good offensively to struggle that long. It's going to happen. As one of our other texters says, Tiago hasn't been perfect, but hate isn't warranted. Yeah. So I'm not watching that game happy with everything I saw. What I am saying is I am not blaming an entire game or leaving that game mad that Tiago is the reason that they lost. I don't think he was. The game kind of flipped when Tumani Kamara fouled out, who was already playing a different brand of basketball because he had 5 fouls. And what happened in that fourth quarter? The Nuggets figured out how to shoot the ball a little bit. And for a team that had struggled on that, they shot 71% from the field. The Blazers still shot 53%. And still managed to just not score the ball. Didn't get the shots up. They only got 13 shots, 21 shots from Denver. Again, I totally understand where you want to take that stance, and that stance is fair. It's absolutely fair. But you're watching all that, and your only takeaway is that Thiago's ass and he needs to go. Like that I just can't get behind. I don't think that's the case. I think he is a head coach who has holes in his game because he was not hired to be head coach. He was hired to be an assistant. I think that's fair. There are times when I will definitely tell you I didn't like that. Thiago didn't get the sixth foul on Toumani Camara. Thiago did not send Jokic to the line with the absolute phantom foul calls of all foul calls. Thiago did not miss a corner three like Matisse Thybulle did. He did not miss a clutch shot like Deni Avdija did. He did not miss the free throw that Deni Avdija missed. And that last play that where Aaron Gordon hits the tying three, like that, I watched that play in my takeaway, and this is where you can argue about Thiago absolutely, because this is what I want to see more from my head coach, and I would love to see more from Thiago. So I will give you this part. What I liked about that last play was, holy hell, was that a beautiful play design by Coach Adelman. Aaron Gordon comes out, sets the pick. Matisse Thybulle has to fight around that pick. Aaron Gordon goes from the pick, leaks into the corner. Robert Williams doesn't know what to do because he's like, oh crap, do I get into the paint and defend against a pass back into Jokic, or do I get out there? He was in no man's land with no time to figure out which way to go, and it led to a wide open shot from Aaron Gordon. It was an absolute beautiful play design by David Adelman. So yes, do I want Thiago to do more of that? That's fine. Now I'm clear that judging by your continued text, I'm not gonna change your mind, and that's fine. I'm gonna tell you the exact same flipping thing I told you in the pregame show. I love the banter, my man. I absolutely love the banter. I love the back and forth, and I love these good faith basketball debates. We could pick it apart all day long, but I'm gonna defend my stance. I still like Thiago, and again, I'm not admitting or saying that I think he's the head coach moving forward. But right now, dude, wallop the Clippers in their home stadium. Has won 8 of 10 coming into this game, and just went toe-to-toe with the Denver Nuggets. That, my friend, is why I don't leave this game upset. Because why would I be upset that a team that most of us predicted to be 500, if not worse than that, is playing good basketball? I enjoy that. Speaking of good basketball, who else played good basketball? Let's find out. It's time for an NBA scoreboard report. All right, let's take a look at what happened around the NBA tonight. Not a big docket, just a few games. But in Atlanta, the Hawks fall to the Knicks 108-105. Nickeil Alexander-Walker had 36 points. Jalen Brunson had 30 points and 13 assists. In Orlando, the Magic 123, the Pistons 107. Paulo Banchero had 31 points and 3 steals. In Memphis, the Cavaliers 142, the Grizzlies 126. Trying to see what happened there. Did our guy play? Let's see. Prosper, Coward, Jackson, Williams, Spencer. Nope. No Rayon Rupert, who, by the way, for those of you who keep a track and watch it at home, did you see what Rayon Rupert did against the Bucks the other day? In their last game? Now, they lost to the Bucks 131-15. The Grizzlies were playing like no one. They were starting Toby O'Connie. Okay. Walter Clayton Jr., Olivier Maxence Prosper, Tyler Hendricks, and Rayon Rupert. Old man Taj Gibson even got into that game. But Rayon Rupert, 33 points, 10 assists, 10 rebounds in that game against Milwaukee. Rayon Rupert pour toi. Good game from him. But again, the Grizzlies fell to the Cavs 142-26 in this one. The Spurs grabbed a 115-102 victory over the 76ers. Definitely something to watch, though, because Victor Wembanyama left that game with a rib bruise, probably day-to-day moving forward. But you still got to look at the overall standings, and there's a chance. There is a chance that they could get to first. But they need Oklahoma City to go on a losing streak, and Oklahoma City doesn't do that. 4 games left on the schedule. Oklahoma City has a 2.5 game lead. You know that Oklahoma City hasn't lost 4 games in a row since December of 2022? Yeah, they don't lose very often anymore. So San Antonio might very well be locked into that 2 spot when it's all said and done. And if you are not falling to 3 and realistically probably not getting to 1, I think there's a chance they don't play Victor Wembanyama in that game against Portland. If not, maybe the rest of the regular season, rest up, because you want to make sure that guy is healthy come playoff time, because it's a whole different team when he's out there. And then, of course, final score in Denver in a hell of a ball game. The Nuggets 137, the Trailblazers 132. Nikola Jokic put you to bed with a 35-point, 14 rebound, 13 assist triple-double. This NBA Scoreboard Report brought to you by our friends at McCord's Vancouver Toyota, where they live by the slogan, we make it easy. Check out their inventory now at ToyotaVancouver.com, or VancouverToyota.com, excuse me. And by the way, our texter, he said, the Nuggets coaches had answers for the Blazers offense. Thiago had none. To which I just text back, I get it, and I appreciate his response. I enjoy our banter too. You know what I love about that, my friend, is that obviously we're on different ends of the Thiago spectrum, but we understand, man, this is just lighthearted, fun basketball talk. It ain't to be taken that serious at the end of the day. We're here for the same thing. We enjoy the Blazers and we're having fun. And I do. I absolutely appreciate the banter back and forth. And I promise, keep texting and we'll find something we agree on. I'll do my best. I'll do my best, but I appreciate that you are enjoying the banter, because I am absolutely enjoying it as well. If you want to join the conversation and you want to banter with us, 503-248-0620 is the telephone number. 88528 is the text line. And of course, you go to youtube.com, type in Rip City Radio, where Air Weldon and Sean and crew are holding it down. Air Weldon trying to drop stats. That's what he does. He's trying to call me out for yawning. I did. It happens. Taj Gibson, excuse me? Yeah, Taj Gibson. That Taj Gibson. We've got to the age where all the juniors are playing. You got Bronny James, and then you got Scottie Pippen Jr. I mean, come on. You got Jeremy Grant, who's the son of a former Trailblazer. You got Gary Trent Jr. Like, we are at the age of where the juniors are all playing, but old man Taj Gibson still lacing them up. I love it. Taj Gibson still, like, for a while, that's the type of vet you want in a locker room. Go give me solid 5 minutes a game. I still think, like, if there was one guy who was still in basketball shape and, like, you could sign to come play for the Blazers right now, get that old man vet presence in a locker room. Let me look real quick, because I got to put, man, yeah, absolutely. Ed Davis is only 36 years old, fam. Ed Davis, get in basketball shape. Portland only has Donovan Kling, Robert Williams, and Young Hansen, who's playing a lot with the remix, even though, the playoffs and all that, and they got bounced. So he's up there, but he's not going to see a lot of PT, especially come playoff time. They need that vet leadership, especially if you get healthy Damian Lillard back. Maybe he's like, I need my hard hat and lunch pail guy in the locker room. Bring me Ed Davis back. Vet min for a 36-year-old Ed Davis, who last played in the NBA in 2022. Yeah, make it happen. Make it happen. Oh my gosh, yeah. Taj Gibson, when he signed, I was like, whoa, he still wants to play. Ed Davis did. Ed Davis disappeared, as Sean says. He went Air Weldon said that. He went for Portland. He went to Brooklyn. Then he spent a year in Utah, a year in Minnesota, a year in Cleveland. And then I played for a Puerto Rican basketball team, played in the Chinese basketball league, and let's see, and another Puerto Rican team. So yeah, to go from the NBA to the Puerto Rican leagues. Man, I didn't know there was a Puerto Rican basketball league. The Guaynabo Mets. Okay, there you go. The more you know about Ed Davis. Also, I love these international leagues too. Big fan of the Hiroshima Carp, Japanese baseball. You know what I mean? Bucket list. I need to get out there and watch them. Get to a Japanese baseball game. That'd be so fun. All right, we're going to take a quick break here. When we come back, we're going to hear from polarizing head coach Tiago Splitter. Hand out a game ball and get out of here. Get you ready to get rested up and hopefully play this well and get a W in San Antonio. This is the fifth quarter on your home of the Blazers, Rip City Radio 620. Welcome back into the fifth quarter. Chris Burkhardt here with you. Breaking down this tough night in Denver as the Blazers fall to the Nuggets 137-132 in overtime. It was a good game. Couple mistakes late, couple weird calls, and it just kind of fell off. Still think that, Timani Kamara fouling out was massive. And then that no call on Nikola Jokic, also massive. But those are just two calls in the game, and you feel like they decide them because they're there in crunch time in a close game. But you go through so much in this game and try to pick it apart. I just thought for the most part the Blazers played a very respectable, good basketball game. Just hard, unfortunately they couldn't hold on to that lead that they had. You knew Denver was going to get hot. They did, especially in that fourth quarter. And Blazers had chances late, just couldn't capitalize. Don't take it from me, though. Let's hear it from head coach Tiago Splitter. It's time to head to the coach's corner.
Well, we're playing against a high-level team, probably one of the hottest teams in the NBA right now. They just had the poise to finish a game at the fourth quarter. And they were better there. Simple like that.
How much did it hurt to have Timani fell out the night that he was having?
Yeah, huge. I mean, just on defense, on offense, he was having like an unbelievable game. Making shots, creating for others, rebounding, guarding. So we miss him there.
What's your message to the team after that one? Because I think earlier in the season it's maybe like, hey, we're right there, but at this point in time in the season it's so late. I'm curious, do you feel good about the game at all, or is it just the loss?
I feel terrible about it, and everybody over there feel terrible right now. We felt like, we had it, and but again, I told them at a halftime, they're gonna come back. They're gonna make a run. This is a very experienced vet team that have been in this situation, 100 times or more. So yes, it's a learning experience. We're gonna have those games coming now: Clippers, San Antonio, SAC, and then the play-in. We gotta finish those games. This is where you learn from. And we just got schooled by one of the, if not the best team in the NBA right now.
What did you think of Matisse's performance tonight?
Unbelievable. Matisse has been awesome. Playing more minutes for us, a little bit out of the minutes restriction, making shots, deflections, steals, guarding their best players. He was with Murray, with everybody there, so it was awesome to see him there and just belly.
And there you hear from head coach Tiago Splitter. And, Matisse Thybulle, well, you could hear Casey Holdahl ask about him, and he said, Matisse was great tonight. But, boy, Matisse has been really good over the last few weeks. It's going to be interesting to see what happens with him in the offseason, if there's a way to bring him back or not. But all I know is last few weeks he's been absolutely incredible. But who was incredible tonight? Let me tell you, it's time to hand out a game ball. Well, when it comes to a game ball tonight, I think you got to go right to, unfortunately, the man who fouled out. Timani Kamara was absolutely incredible. 30 points, 5 rebounds. He had a single steal, but he was 8 of 13 from beyond the arc, 10 of 16 from the field, or overall, 2 of 2 from the line. And quite honestly, as of late, watching his offensive game become so well-rounded, and yes, I know he still has those games where he's a little rough and, doesn't fill up the scoreboard, but he has been relied upon and reliable lately. And, the easiest way for me to put it is just the fact that when he came into the league, he's shooting threes. You're like, oh, it'd be nice if he developed that shot. Oh gosh, here he's taking a shot again. Oh, it went in. That's nice. Now, when he misses the shot, you're like, oh, that's weird. He usually makes those because he's just made that three-point shot so reliable. So great to see, and another great performance from Toumani Camara, and he gets our game ball. All right, I think that's going to do it for us here tonight. Thanks to everyone for tuning in. Big shout out to our texters. Love the banter, love the back and forth. Big shout out to Eric Weldon and Sean and everybody else in the YouTube chat. The Orb, jumping in from the top rope and leaving. Selena Ray. Appreciate you all. Blazers will be back in action here in just a few days. They get to take on the San Antonio Spurs. Unfortunately for Portland, life doesn't get any easier after playing Denver. They will take on the Spurs on Wednesday. Tip-off at 6:30, meaning I will have Blazers game day for you starting at 4:30. Hopefully the Blazers can put it together. If they don't, the odds of getting the 8 seed do become a lot harder. There's still a chance right now, but you're really going to have to try to get that win in San Antonio. Keep locked in. Follow me on social, Chris J. Burkhardt. Get on the socials just to see what happens with Victor Wembanyama. If there's any chance he doesn't play, that becomes a whole different approach to that game in multiple ways, and we shall see. Once again, final score in Denver, the Blazers fall to the Nuggets 137-132. I'll have game day for you on Wednesday. Until then, talk to you on the next one, Rip City.